Yeah, so that's our area code in Detroit, and it's just a day that we made a holiday to just celebrate the greatness of the city. And the most instrumental part of it is we're honoring J Dilla with an exclusive merchandise capsule.
Yeah.
So it's a J Dilla Royce the 5'9" Detroit Pistons collab. So we're doing three hoodies, 3 t-shirts, and 2 hats. You know what I mean? And I'm not the head art designer. I'm gonna get you guys a hoodie today. But
nice.
Yeah, so I was specifically hands on with a specific hoodie. You'll know which one because it's the best one. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so it's something where the family, the estate, entrusted in me.
Yeah.
To oversee it, which is an honor. That's the greatest part about it to me.
Yeah.
And, it's just something that we're doing to just keep his legacy alive, and also make the younger generation as aware as they should be about what Dilla stood for and his legacy and how important he is, his thumbprint is to just to the fabric of Detroit.
To the culture. Well, I saw the documentary. And they put
Which
like
one?
his the Dilla. So they put like his MPC.
It's
in
Smithsonian.
Yeah.
Right. Like what does that mean? Like when you see that as a hip hop enthusiast and purist, to see something like that be highlighted.
It lets me know that people are getting it. People are understanding it. It took a minute. Because the way that people speak about him now, they weren't necessarily talking about him like that when he was alive. But we were getting there.
Do you think that might have been possibly because they didn't know he was producing a lot of these records?
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. I definitely don't think it's anything where like anybody was like hating on him or anything like that. I just think that he just went before his time. Went before his time. Wasn't able to reach his full potential, but also was at a level where people didn't realize. It's kind of like the Nipsey effect.
Yeah, type of thing.
I'm guilty of that. Like I missed the Nipsey boat until after he passed, and then now I'm bumping. You know what I'm saying? I'm bumping rap niggas like it's the brand new song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, where was I at? Like, what was going on in my life? How did I miss this? And that happens in hip hop, especially today. Everything's moving so fast.
Yeah.
Every other hour is a new news cycle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's important just to do things like this, just to make sure that we continue to just pound it in people's head. His greatness and what he means to us in the city.
Yeah, I often hear like the attention span theory, where it's like like you said, everything moves fast. But you have people watching podcasts for 3.5 hours straight through, right? So,
that's why I don't agree with that theory.
Yeah, so that was my point. So do you think maybe it's time for the artist to create better music or actually create bodies of work because everything is so single driven?
That's one way.
Yeah,
that
pisses me off when I hear that. I'm like, well, you're telling me, you can't listen to a record for 2 minutes, but you're gonna watch this podcast for 7.5 hours.
Yeah, and I think that it's a sign of the times. People don't have to. Like we're not in the era where things are just being marketed to you 24 hours a day, where something's in your face all the time and you can't escape it. Because of the internet, every human can curate their entire existence. You know what I mean? Whatever their playlist is, they don't have to hear anything. So I'm saying they, like I'm not a human. Like we don't have to listen to anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I don't know if it's so much if it's as much the attention span it's just I don't have to listen to this. So if I like it and I love it,
you can tap into.
We'll
what you wanna hear.
hyper-focus. We'll hyper-focus on it. But if we don't, if it doesn't grab us in a certain amount of time, then we move on.
Yeah, as a hip hop community, I become frustrated where they're basically cramming everybody into one thing. It's like everybody's just hip hop, right? And we often are compared to rock and roll, and they have 40,000 subgenres. So why is it, or why hasn't it happened with us yet?
I think it has.
Well, like officially, what I mean is like officially,
like
officially, where you can actually go to like Apple Music, let's say, and you can go and search boom bap and classic hip hop. I don't think it's happened yet. I'm just curious why. Like from your perspective.
Well, from my perspective, I look at streaming platforms as exactly that. Like I liken it to walking up in a record store and you have somebody standing there going, "Hello." you just walked into the streaming platform. If you look over here, this is old school rap. If you look over there, you know what I mean? Like, this is new school. This is rap caviar. This is, you know what I mean? Like, so it's all these different playlists, and they're basically pointing you to different directions and suggesting to you what's hot, what's old, what's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, based on your listening habits.
Which kind of like sways the thinking of the listener a little bit, because a lot of people, well, most people, more people than not, get on the internet every day to look at what should I like today. You know what I mean? It's not a whole lot of people who are just like, yo, I want to hear such and such. It's like, yo, where's everybody listening to? That's what I want to check out. So a lot of times you can be a certain kind of artist, and if you don't stream as well as another artist, it doesn't mean that the other artist's music is better or anything like that. It can just be people aren't aware, and who's to say they wouldn't love it if it wasn't pushed onto them. You know, so it's a whole different fight when you look at it in that regard. And to me, all of those different categories are subgenres in a way. You know what I mean? Because you'll find that the fan bases of these different playlists are like-minded. You know? Definitely.
As a new artist, like, what are some of the things that you do to stand out? Like, if a new person was to hear your project, what direction are you going? What do you want the listener to gravitate towards?
Man, I think for me, like I've been saying, like, I pride myself more on like the visual aspect of everything. It's like I'm a super visual artist and super creative, and I think, without tooting my own horn, I think it speaks for itself. Like, when people see it, I feel like I'm undeniable in a way. Like, it's just like you can't deny it, how great it is. So yeah, I just feel like people are just drawn to that immediately. You know, because I like direct and edit all the videos. I'm like coming up with the artistic direction on everything I do, whether it's a photo shoot, whether it's a video, whether it's the music. It's like I'm super hands-on with everything. Yeah.
All right, that's what it is. The Punchline Academy, the infamous Amadeuz, Shade 45, SiriusXM is another Wednesday in hip-hop. Matter of fact, let's play one of your songs. What do you want to hear?
Let's go. Let's do my new record, Cullen and Gang, featuring Ice Word Vezo.
All right, yeah. Live, Punchline Academy. Shade 45, the Punchline Academy. We are live and directed. Shout out to everyone. Hit me on social media, questions, comments, and more. So, Royce, I have a segment here, top 5. We've done top 5 producers and this and that. But my question for you today is top 5 producers with bars.
Producers with bars.
Yeah.
I'm curious what you finna say.
Kanye. Producers with bars. You curious to what I'm gonna say? Dilla. Mr. Porter.
Okay.
The 9 Porter. Havoc. How many is that? 4?
4.
Here we go, one more.
Havoc's a good one.
And who am I forgetting about? I want to say Pharrell, but I feel like it's somebody who raps a little bit better. Who am I forgetting?
It's a few people you could go. I'd go, me personally, probably because like just for I'm a different generation. I'd probably say Hit Boy. I think Hit Boy rap pretty.
Yeah,
Hit Boy is good. Hit Boy is good.
Q-Tip.
Yeah.
But you got a 5?
I don't know. Yeah, probably Pete Rock, Q-Tip.
Pete Rock.
Havoc.
Why producers with bars though? I'm curious.
I think oftentimes the fact that producers actually rap get overlooked. We tend to just focus on the MC. So, for example, like Havoc, a lot of people probably didn't even know that he was doing most of those beats.
Right.
And then he's dumping on the beat. I mean, he's doing the majority of the choruses. So I think it's important to highlight that.
Yep. Yep. I agree.
You know, someone like Q-Tip kind of changed the sound sonically.
Q-Tip is great.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. The Punchline Academy, the infamous Amadeuz. I'm here now. You have a new management company.
I'm helping out on the management side.
Okay.
I'm more in the mentor position, the mentor role. I enjoy working in the studio and being hands-on with the artists when that's necessary. I loved taking on that position, and I love kind of being the translator between the suits and the artist. You know, I feel like that's very important because when we're super young and we're coming into the business, we're very defensive and possessive. You know what I mean? And somebody like him, who knows exactly how he wants everything to be. He knows exactly what he wants to see. He knows exactly how he wants to look. He knows exactly how to make that happen. Like, he can actualize whatever his visions are. So when you're dealing with an artist like that deals with that kind of artistic integrity, you got to be really, really careful just the verbiage that you use when you're speaking with them. So I kind of come in as that role without being like playing both sides.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like the glue that comes in and gets him to understand that this is not you versus the management. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we feel like that.
Yeah. How much more of that do we need? Like encouraging young artists and you know, kind of just letting them be themselves and then just guiding them along the way.
We need a lot more of that.
Yeah. Because it's like it's just non-existent now.
Yeah, it's a lot like fatherhood. It's a lot like
That's
fatherhood.
interesting.
And if you think about it, you know, we're born with no manual on life. There's no instruction booklet, pamphlet. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have people who have been down a path and made some mistakes and gained some wisdom off of that to kind of like bestow that wisdom onto you, then you yourself is learning through trial and error.
Yeah.
Which everybody don't survive that. Everybody's not hand selected to keep being able to rise from the ashes. You know what I'm saying? So just my generation in general, I can't speak to previous generations, but my generation specifically, we didn't have a whole lot of guidance and mentorship, a whole lot of OGs. You know what I mean? Like there was a whole lot of competitive energy. There was a whole lot of, oh shit, this motherfucker trying to come take my spot. You know what I mean? So we did a lot of that, and it kind of tainted us in a way, you know, because when we all signed our deals back in, you know, 99 or whatever that was, everybody who used to be at the hip hop shop, all of the MCs at the open mics, all of us ended up getting record deals. And you know, prior to that, we were all like cool. As soon as people started making money,
Everything changed.
Yeah, everything changed. We all just started competing with each other, and that led to a lot of different falling outs, and it led to a very, very, it's like a huge slowdown in productivity in terms of solidarity, something that we aren't necessarily programmed to even look at, you know. So I hope before I move on, I get an opportunity to see all of the most prominent people in the city on the same page in solidarity, making demands, claiming what's theirs, and just taking it back to how it used to be with the Motown era.
Yeah, the Motown era.
Berry Gordy and them, they got it right. They did it the right way.
Yeah, if you could like look at Detroit, late 90s, and where Detroit is now, what is something that you would want to implement specifically from the environment that you grew up in on the hip hop scene and then just looking kind of where it is today?
I don't know if it's anything, to be honest with you. You know, it's a huge improvement. A huge improvement. I could nitpick and say I wish because it's always been broken down into two kind of like subgenres. Street rap versus lyrical rap.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they call it. Street nigga rap, lyrical nigga rap, backpacker or whatever you want to call it. So back then it was kind of like us, the lyricists. That was kind of like our time.
Yeah.
The street rap had to take like a little bit of a backseat just for whatever reason.
Yeah. Just the
so
way shit
now
worked
it's
out.
flipped around.
Yeah.
So if I can implement anything, I would say just a little bit more openings and slots for people who just can rap. You know what I mean? Because I think it's a place for it all.
You mean for like lyricists?
Yeah, people who consider themselves lyricists.
Okay. Like a safe space.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a lot of super lyrical guys. Somebody like myself who knows what I'm listening to. There's a lot of super lyrical guys who just don't consider themselves as lyricists. You know, they're more on the street side. I'm one of those guys who I'm not programmed in that way. You know, I can walk and chew gum at the same time. You know, I feel like somebody can be both. You can be a lyricist and you can be
Street guy.
You can maintain your street integrity. You can maintain all of the things that come along with the allure of being a street guy. And still be proud to be a lyricist. I don't think you should have to choose one or the other.
Well, when is it time, or how does an artist find a balance, right? Because we all are street guys, right? Now you're crossing over into the industry and you're dropping records, and sometimes we have a habit of taking certain elements in the street and trying to apply it day to day once you're in the industry. So where does someone find the balance?
It's called a sweet spot. And, you know, finding a balance is going to be the hardest thing that you're going to have to do just as a human, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just the way that it goes, you know, and it's the thrill of the chase. You know what I mean? So a lot of guys have managed to find that sweet spot.
Yeah.
A lot of them on all levels. Street guys found it, you know. You got guys like Gucci, Future, Thug. You know, Thug may not be the greatest example, but he found a sweet spot where, you know, he was able to maintain his street integrity and also express himself in a way that the streets wasn't even used to seeing. And he made people accept it through his talent. You know, and then, you know, he may have went a little bit extreme on the street side and got himself in some trouble, but for the most part, he's right there at the sweet spot. You know, and we've seen it not even just with Thug, but with a lot of the guys. And then on the lyrical side, Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie,
being able to cross over.
Illmatic was a whole lyrical album. You know, of course, it went down in history as one of the greatest albums of all time from a critic's perspective. But when they went in to do It Was Written, they went in with a plan to do something that was a little more broad. And I think with lyricism being his foundation as an artist, that was his opportunity to show that, you know, there's other elements to his creativity.
Free jewelry, man, from Royce the 5'9". Of course, at the Punchline Academy. I am the infamous Amadeuz. 313 days here. So if they want to get this collaboration, where they could go to cop the merch and more.
So you go to 313. Why do I always forget that?
Pistons. What?
Piston 313 shop.
Okay. Make sure you support it.
You can get it there, and you can get it at the Little Caesars Arena if you're in the Detroit area. You can go in there and you can grab it as well from the merchandise store in there as well. Nice.
How amazing is, the final question, to work with the team from your city? I got a chance to DJ at the Garden for the Knicks. And I was like, you know what, fuck that. I wanted to really experience it, so I took my car, I parked it on my old block, and I rode the train down to Madison Square Garden because I really just wanted to get the full experience. So from that perspective, how amazing is that?
It's amazing. It's amazing, number one, because it's just an honor. You know what I mean? The Pistons are always going to be a legendary organization to me. We're not in the greatest standings right now, just in terms of kind of like in the rebuilding process, in the rebuilding phase. And I think that we can only go up. You know, it can only be greatness from here. We can't go down any further. You know, and sometimes organizations have to go through that.
Yeah, the ups and downs, the valleys and peaks.
Yeah, but I'm honored. I'm honored to be affiliated with them in any kind of way, and I'm always going to be 100% supportive and on the front line for my team, regardless of what the record is and what's happening. You know, I'm not a fair weather fan and partner. I'm a ride or die. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna stand there with you through the L's, and I'm gonna stand there with you during the wins. Yeah, that's how it goes. You know,
that's how it is, man. The infamous Amadeuz, the Punchline Academy. Make sure you support that new merch drop. Hit the website and hit the Instagram and let me know if you got any questions or comments. The Punchline Academy. Matter of fact, I'm about to get into this mix right now, the Left Lane mix. So make sure you have the radio at maximum volume. We'll be back after this.